I added a feature. When someone subscribe, it will do like this, and when someone donate to the channel, it will do like this. I'm playing around with the streaming setup. I find it like very good way to answer your questions when you leave it to me in the comments on Facebook or in YouTube comments, because it's really taking a lot of time to answer one by one question and typing the question and going back and forward to get like the exact question, to understand the question. So from now on, each question you will put on YouTube or on Facebook, I will try to collect the important ones and I will go live every week to answer it. Not specifically every week. If I can do it twice a week, I will do it. And that will be very helpful because these videos will stay on my channel so other people can benefit of it. Abu Omar, advice on specialization in Apple product in general. Okay, we'll talk about it. Fixing iPhone from home. Yes, I used to do that. But right now, to bring all my tools here, the microscope, the oscilloscope, everything, to bring it here and to bring the parts, it's a headache. And I decided to keep home something for rest, not for work, because that before gave me a really hard time. Which is the best microscope? You will find a link for it with all the tools I recommend under this video or under any of my videos. Just click show more, you will find all the links below all my videos. I recommend AymanThe. If you have too much money, you can go for Cartoon. But Cartoon is very old right now, but it has a great Carl Zeiss optics. You have also Nikon, but Nikon also is very expensive. And you have Leica. Leica is amazing, has amazing cameras for recording videos. And I will put a link for it. Unfortunately, I never put a link for it under my with the tools under my videos. Because it's very expensive, but I will put it, since some people ask me about it. I will put a link for it. You will find it below after this stream is done. Mudassir or Mudassir, so good to see you. So good to see you also. What camera do you use right now? If you ask about what I'm using right now, I use Logitech C930. And I use a ring light with it. Any camera of microscope or camera for shooting or taking videos, any camera will never give you a good quality, whatever how much is it, without a good lighting. So this camera without the ring light, it's rubbish, but with the ring light, it's giving a like decent quality. Do you really need, I cannot read your name, I will just go ahead to your question. Do you really need oscilloscope to repair phones? Yes. If you are, sorry. If you want to be advanced technician, like repair the phones which no other technician can repair, you should have oscilloscope. You will use it in very minimal way. You will not use it that much, but it will help you with the rabbit hole repairs. Like to check the signals, if it's there or not there, you have to have oscilloscope. You cannot check signals without oscilloscope. But for everyday repair, like changing U2, changing touch IC, changing display IC, all this normal repair, you don't need oscilloscope for that. You need it for advanced troubleshooting. Romiz Get, I hope I pronounce your name right. Pro, I want to know which temperature and air when I want to remove A8 CPU. The every video and every stream question. The temperature is not important. The temperature itself, it's not important. How fast you are is the important thing. The nozzle you use is the important thing. Like if you are using a very narrow nozzle, this will limit the temperature. Whatever temperature you have, it will limit it to a certain small space. While removing the CPU, you need the temperature to be all over the place. So you have to use a big nozzle, the bigger one. If you are using a big nozzle, that's a lot of temperature is going on into the board. So you cannot use a very high temperature with that because the temperature will increase rapidly, very fast. So you have to calibrate your hot air first, because maybe your hot air station showing you 400 degrees, but what actual temperature is coming from the hot air is not 400. So you have to calibrate your hot air. And then if you are working with a chip big like the A8 or A9 or any CPU, you have to install the biggest nozzle you have. Then you can use temperature like 330, 360, and I use 400. It's really depend on how fast you are. Because if you are not fast and you use 400, you will destroy the chip before you even remove it. And if you are slow and using very low temperature, you will pull the chip with the pads underneath it. So it's a combination. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. It's a combination. I hope this question, this answer answered your question. Which chips which chips and components are handy to have in stock? Diodes, capacitors, resistors. I like to buy donor boards to source it, because it will be very cheap. Display IC, U2, power management IC, baseband power management IC, NAND I source it from donor boards, touch IC, all these chips. But you always must have donor boards in your shop. Whenever a customer comes with a phone which is already damaged and cannot be fixed, I offer him to buy this board to keep it. It will be very useful for me to use it in the future. Muhammad Jamil, the quarantine in Algeria is half day. We work 10th to 15th with precaution and protection. Indication special in our work lab. God bless you all. God bless you all. I work only 2 hours a day right now because we are in Ramadan, and I don't like to deal with customers and people overall when I am fasting, because I'm a smoker, heavy smoker. I don't like to deal with people before I break my fasting. So I go my shop in the evening time from 8 to 10, because the quarantine starts at 10 o'clock in the night. Muhammad Salah, what do you think of the NAND Pro box? I never used it, so I cannot give you a feedback. Amer MSN, I hope I pronounce your name right. 6S, no power. current consumption 80 milliamps, then 0, then 80 milliamps, and repeat. I think this is something related to I2C, or maybe USB-IC, because it's also related to I2C. This could be the USB-IC or the display IC or the light IC or the RAM. The RAM could do this. You should check I'm sorry. You should check the output voltages of the power IC, and you check the resistance value of all the lines which is coming from the power IC to power the CPU and power the NAND, and check the resistance of those lines, and check also the voltage and the resistance of the I2C lines, I2C 0, I2C 1, I2C 2. Digit cam. Surely you not need an oscilloscope for logic iPhone repair? Yes, for normal repair you don't need it, but if you wanna be advanced technician, which is really take you long time before you become like advanced technician, like if you are doing every day like USB IC or display IC or even power IC, that's what normal technician should do. But if you receive a phone came from another shop and they change everything you can do, then they couldn't fix it. This needs special skills. It needs patient and experience. Without the proper tools, you cannot find the problem, because let's say you want to check signal coming from the CPU to the NAND or to other chip. Without the oscilloscope, you cannot check this signal. If you measure the voltage, you will find the voltage, but the CPU is not creating this signal. It's not switching. It's not shorting the line to 0 and then allowing it to pull up again. So the oscilloscope will help you with that. But for normal repair, you don't need it. I don't know why in the Streamlabs is not showing me the chat. I have to go back and forth. T-Mobile, sorry. Well, I have like an American accent. It's mobile, not mobile. Hi, Ayman. If you can tell us temperature configuration if we use preheaters, not iPhone X, and quick 861DW air station at the same time, for example iPhone 7 and 8. I really don't recommend to give temperature numbers, because me personally, when I tell you something, I have currently I'm using the Quick 2008, and as you can see here I have the Quick 861DW, and I use Haco FR801. With the Haco, I don't have temperature dial. I don't know what is the temperature, because the temperature is coming from the hot air. There is a chart. It's telling me if you use this nozzle and with this position of the air and this position of the heat, and this time the overall temperature will be like this, and this will not be like 100% accurate. Sometimes it's above, sometimes it's below. So for me, when I use my Quick 2008, I have 3 settings for temperature. 200, 350, 450. I am a fan of using high temperature because I'm fast. How fast you are compared to me, this is something I don't know. Sometimes I don't look even to the temperature. I can feel the response of the heat I'm applying to the board. I know this chip, I can remove it in 15 seconds. If the temperature is not helping me to remove this chip in 15 seconds, I increase it. So if I tell you use 400 or 450 or 350, this is not a magic number. If you apply this number to your hot air, the response may be different, because maybe the hot air you have is not calibrated, maybe it's not original, maybe it's overshooting. This is very important, because a lot of hot air stations, not quick is decent hot air. Like if you are using M&R or CADA or whatever the brand, and you apply temperature 350, the hot air maybe overshoot this temperature and you cannot feel it because you are not used to. So use your sense. Temperature is like a sense. Working with the phone with temperature, that need sense and need practice. You should practice your hot air. Whenever you use your hot air, try to shoot for the chip to move, and not all of the components to move in the same time. If the chip is moving and everything around it is moving, that's mean you spent a long time, or the hot air station is applying too much heat to the board. Ali Hassan, assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam, Ali. Muhammad Dujamil, for the question, what type of solder paste you used and recommend? Solder paste, I recommend mechanic, but I have seen in Egypt they sell not the original one, fake one. I have Amtech, but for everyday use I like to use mechanic. And you have to know that if this solder paste is not stored properly, like stored in a place with humidity or high temperature, or the weather condition is not proper to store this paste, it will be very bad when you use it. Because I bought BBD before and I know BBD is good, but when I used it, it was really bad, and I guess this is because it's been in a store for a long time on an area with humid. So don't think for one brand as it's the best. Try to practice different brands, but if you wanna shoot for the perfect one without practicing, go to Amtech. And the preheater you used in the video of removing iPad Pro, I didn't use a preheater. I didn't use a preheater in any of my videos for removing iPad Pro. I guess you are talking about the one in my Arabic channel. That one is amazing, and you will find the link to buy that one under that video. It's a brand called CBD, I guess. That equipment paid the money I pay for it 100 times, because when you try to open the iPad, you may break the screen, and the screen is very expensive in the newer versions with the touch and the screen together. So that preheater, I used it since now maybe 3 or 4 years. It's amazing. Okay, I'll put it, Muhammad, in the list of the tools, but you can find it also in that Arabic video in my Arabic channel. You can find it there. Cold-blooded, I guess. Hey Ayman, what soldering tip size you will recommend on hand soldering FPC connectors and the appropriate soldering station that goes with it? I'm a fan of Hako. Hako is the best, very affordable, and of course if you are using GBC is more efficient, but the tips is very expensive and it, it get damaged very easily and very fast. So for me as a technician, I'm always looking for affordable way to earn my living, to be able to profit from my work. So for Hako, the tip stays with me, if it's the micro one, stays with me for a minimum like 3 to 6 months. But with the GBC, the tip get ruined in less than 3 months, and it's more expensive. So for FPC, I like to use the knife tip, the micro one, the micro pencil one. What type of oscilloscope would you recommend? I recommend Repol. Repol, the best brand for oscilloscopes. And do you have a YouTube video tutorial using an oscilloscope on iPhone logic board repairs? No, unfortunately, I don't have a video describing how to use oscilloscope for iPhone, because this is something I keep it for my students. I'm sorry, and really it's very difficult and it's really taking a long time, because I see when my students in front of me, they are taking long time to understand it. So it will be very hard when I put it on YouTube, because YouTube, you don't have the luxury to ask me. You just see me do something and you don't have the luxury to stop me and ask me to repeat something or say it in a different way. So there's some materials I keep only for the training, because it's one-to-one. If they don't understand, they can ask me and I change the way how I tell them the information, and I keep doing this till they understand. Hima Hamada, need training. Unfortunately, my training is stopped right now because I'm in UAE right now and I cannot move back to Egypt, and I don't know when I will be allowed to go back to Egypt, and nobody can come here to take the training right now unless he is already in UAE. Aden Farouk, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam Aden. Where? I would like to thank you all for being here, and if you are getting a value from this, you can just subscribe to the channel. I will be happy if you do so. And give me a like, Let's see, now we have 11 likes and 30 people watching. 31 people watching. Why those 19 people or 20 people, they didn't like the video? Give me a like. Yusuf, iPhone 6 stuck on Apple logo and power off and repeat. Water damaged. It's charging 0.7 amp, but not recognizing but iTunes. I think I2C, but I didn't want to change USB IC cause it's charging. No, 0.7 amp. 0.7 amp. 0.7 amp. It's charging. What do you think? I would say remove the NAND. Remove the NAND and check if the iTunes can recognize the phone or no. If the iTunes will recognize that the phone is in DFU mode or no. Don't worry about the data. Removing the NAND and not doing anything and putting the NAND back, the data will be there, don't worry. Just remove the NAND and connect it to iTunes and check if it's detecting or no. If it didn't, your problem with the USB circuit. Not only the USB IC, USB circuit with I2C, with everything. So then put back the NAND and remove the USB IC, change it. If it's the same, check diode mode underneath the USB, and hopefully you will find the problem from which chip or which component. Georges, it's normal the solder paste make bubbles and move the IC from its position. Solder paste? I guess you mean flux. The flux is the one is moving and making bubbles. No, it's not normal. That's a bad flux. The bad flux, which is creating too much bubbles. And maybe you put too much. Don't put too much. Put just a little. You don't need too much to solder that chip. Just a little. Ahmed, I have a Samsung S8 and it does not power on when I press power button. It takes like low amp, about 60 to 70 milliamp, and when I take my hands off power button, it came back to 0. I'm not expert with Samsung, but this is something related to the power IC and charging IC and memory IC. Samsung is known by the damage eMMC chips, and the eMMC chips is doing such a thing. So check the power chips, the power chip output, if it's there or no. Open the schematic for, not the schematic, the troubleshooting PDF, and follow the charging and no power. If both are giving sufficient value, the power, the output of the power IC and the output of the charging IC, it's maybe the eMMC. I checked every line like VCC and all. I already answered that. Could you write the name of the oscilloscope you said, please? It's in the description. eDigitCom, it's in the description. Just go under this video or under any of my videos. You will see the description and show more. Click show more. You will see the list. Ali Hassan, you didn't reply my message. I'm sorry, Ali, I didn't see your message. I'm very sorry. Where is your message? Can you type it again? Because I didn't see it. Abdul Majid, I have a problem with repoling the CPU. Why do you think this? Because of the stencil? Pretty much the stencil. I don't know how you're doing with the normal chips. Just contact me. I'll send you a link for some stencils for CPU. I used it and I'm very happy with it. I will put a link for it after this stream is finished. I'll put it below. But maybe also you use a high temperature, or you put the temperature directly to the CPU. You should never put it directly to the CPU. You should let the stencil heat, and the heat of the stencil will make the balls like reballed. Don't put the temperature directly to the chip. Try from far away first, then try to come closer, but not to the chip. Go to the side of the chip. Demir, have you ever tried Weller WX series with active tips? In the third quarter of this year, the WX Smart will be released. I'm not a fan of Weller because I already I'm already using GBC and Hako and Metkel since long time, and Erza, but I limited my stations to Hako and GBC. I don't need to use everything in the market. Those stations are very expensive. Sorry of any mistakes, Ali Hassan. I'm sorry, Ali, I didn't see your messages. Romez, I used 400C to remove A10, but circuit dead after removing the CPU. Board was iCloud. I was needed to remove CPU and reinstall it again, but circuit dead. Power IC overheat after remove the CPU. I want to learn how to swap. That's what I say. That's depend on your speed. You are using a 400 and you spent long time. That's what will happen. The power chip, the balls underneath the power IC will get connected together, and the CPU itself, maybe the RAM will be shorted because there is solder balls under the RAM, the first layer, and between the CPU itself, which is down, and the RAM, which is up. Those balls maybe will connect it together, which is hardly to happen, but you managed to do it. So you are using the high temperature but long time. Try to make your temperature less since you are taking longer time. Central Tech, thank you so much. My tea become very cold. Georges, I'm sorry, Flux. It's mechanic order from AliExpress. I cannot guarantee the quality of it. You should try AymanThe. You should try AymanThe. Really, AymanThe is great Flux. Someone asked me today a question, and I want to answer it now here with all of you. He asked me how you can manage buying all these expensive tools, and you are buying a very expensive solder and very expensive flux, and you can survive with the lower rates of the repair, like customers are not paying too much or something like that. I told him the flux with the shipping, it's $30. The solder, it's also like $50 or $60. So total $100. I can get $100 fixing one phone or maximum two phones. So I pay for those from fixing two phones, and those will stay with me, like the flux will stay with me for 6 months. And the roll of solder will stay with me for 5 years, because it's a huge. The one I leave in the description. It's a huge. It will stay with you 5 years. If you are working every day, it will stay with you 5 years. So it's affordable. It's actually cheap, not affordable. But it gives me the luxury of having faster repairs and very quality repair. When I give a phone to its owner, he never come back with the same problem because of soldering. Can you let me know how the quality of the stream, if it's lagging or the sound is not good, because this is my first time to use this equipment. We have 40 people watching. I want 40 likes. iPhone, where? iPhone 8, camera opens, black. U3700 change. No results. Please tell me, the noob, what to do. Thanks. You didn't say the front or back camera, but in both cases you should check the power supply of the camera. It's there or no. And you have to measure the diode values on the connector, and you have to change the camera. Maybe it's the camera itself. DG, hi all. Hi DG. Muhammad AK, hello. How are you, Muhammad? Muhammad Asim, Assalamu alaikum. iPhone 8 Plus, charging not response, also not connect to computer. Wireless charging is okay. Of course, wireless charging is different circuit. Already changed charging IC, 5 volt is okay. The battery connector is only 2.9 volt. Any idea? Did you try to change the flex cable, the dock connector flex cable? Because iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, the problem always from the dock connector or the charging IC or the I2C lines in the middle of the battery connector. Rarely the Hydra IC to get damaged. What do you think, Abu Omar? What do you think about screen refurbishing and battery replacement jobs? I prefer to keep those for beginners, because if you're really advanced technician, you don't have time for this kind of repairs. iPhone, yes sir. Riaz, iPhone 8 restart itself after 2 minutes. Where I need to check? That's a very open, random question, yes sir. You should tell me what did you check, then I tell you what to do. But the answer for such an open question, you have to go to training. Not my training, any training, because if I can answer you, you should have some experience about troubleshooting. And if you have experience about troubleshooting, you wouldn't ask the question in that way. You would give me more information to be able to help you, since I never seen the device. I'm very far away from you and I cannot see the device. Dimir, thanks brother for your time. Thank you for your time, Dimir. Fun CN. Hello, I have one issue with iPhone 6 Plus. It's LCD backlight issue. 1.8 volt, 1.7 and VCC main showing 3.9 volts. And when I put new IC and new coil from running board, also new diode output line voltage 3.9. Let me understand your question very well. 1.8 volt, 1.7 and VCC main showing, how come 1.8 showing 3.9? That's I don't understand. Maybe I misunderstood you, but I don't understand how the phone is working with backlight issue and the 1.8 volt is showing you 3.9. Please explain. Ali Hassan, can you explain about network problem? How to diagnose? Can I find problem by checking voltage to confirm if PP CPU problem, BMU or WTR? Yes, you can do that. But network is a huge circuit. In iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, we have a common failure. The baseband is getting shorted by itself. Maybe after doing a restore or update, or by itself, it's getting shorted. So when you have iPhone 6s or 6s Plus and you have a network problem, go check the coils of the baseband CPU. Check the resistance value, the diode mode measurement on the coils. If you find a short, close the phone, return it to the customer. It's a garbage. You cannot do anything. iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, Qualcomm, same thing. If there is no short in both Qualcomm and Intel, if there is no short, the same coils, check the voltage. If there is a voltage, the PMU is working fine. Your problem, maybe the baseband itself is not soldered correctly, or there is a disconnect underneath, or the clocking. You cannot check the clocking because you don't have oscilloscope, but change the clock or Repol the baseband. In the 6 and 6 Plus, there is the two pads, U1 and V1, one for GBS and one for the RFFE1, radio frequency front end data line. There is a video in this channel for those pads getting disconnected very commonly. We have to do jumpers for those. iPhone 8, the problem mostly from the WTR. This is like the short diagnosis. Like, this is from the experience. I receive those kind of problems very commonly, but this is not how you should consider that all the network problems should be from these reasons. But this is the first thing you have to check. I cannot explain the network problem in a YouTube video. I'm very sorry. That's a very, very big circuit. Ayman, you are the best. You are the best, man. Faris, Ayman, what about the tool you use to lift protected IC? It looks solid, unlike the flexible, the one you used before. I use anything. What in front of me I can use. I don't care too much about these small details. When you practice too much, you will see that you already bought a lot of tools which you don't need. Yes, Riaz, what you charge for audio IC repair jobs? I charge around $70. Good stream. Thank you, Yasser. It's perfect. Thank you, George. It's George or Georges. I'm very sorry for all the people which I missed or didn't pronounce their name correctly. And I'm very I apologize for my crappy English. Okay, like given, now salute me, dude. I will salute you if I can understand, if I can say your name. Mas Milano, salute Mas Milano. HPC, is the streaming good? Thank you. Multi-technology, hi Owl from Nigeria. How are you? Ramadan Kareem Ahmed Salah, Ramadan Kareem to all of you guys. Yusuf, iPhone 7 put loop. I changed audio IC but the same. If I disconnected flex front camera or flex home button, it power on goodly. The value on front camera connector is okay. And voltage 2, I didn't check yet home button. You should change the screen. Change the screen because it's not only the home button. I faced the same problem few days ago. It's not only the home button making this problem. It's the flex cables on the screen. Try with different screen. Then try with different screen and the same home button to be able to say where is the problem. The problem from the home button or from the screen. Stream is good so far, at least for me. Thank you, Mudassar. Yes, sir, thank you. George? Okay, George. The question jumped. Let me go back. Pro 1.8 volt not showing 3.9. It's anode line showing 3.9. Yeah. So if if the anode line is showing 3.9 volt or 4 volt, that means the backlight chip is not boosting those 4 volts to 20 or 15 volt. This could be the problem of the coil or the chip itself. Check diode measurements for on the connector of the display to make sure there is no short in the caps. Then change the display, the backlight chip. If it's the same, it's the coil, or there's disconnect from under the chip to somewhere. So you have to check the diode measurement under the chip. I hope this solved your problem. iPhone 11 Pro Max, Ramin Ansari, iPhone 11 Pro Max, is it possible EEPROM chip from old screen install on the new screen? I'm very sorry, I didn't see the screen of the iPhone 11 because I don't work with screen, but it would be easier if you buy like the EEPROM programmer to read the data of the true tone from the old screen and apply it to the new one. Who is the one dislike? I don't know. People, I have some people, haters. Haters. Which microscope the best? The one in the description box. Go below this video and click show more. You will find the list of all my tools I recommend. Ali Hassan, thank you for explaining very well. Thank you, Ali. Suwa, I hope your name is like how I said it. Suwa. Hi, iPhone is good camera for streaming. You can see the previous stream. It was from my iPhone X. And any camera will not be good unless you equipped it with good lighting. But now I'm using this camera and streaming software, so I can play with some functions, like when someone subscribe, you should get something like this, and when someone donate, there is a donation link under the video. When someone donate, the name will pop up. If someone have a question and I have too much question and I don't see his question, he can donate and then this message will appear and his question will pop above all the other questions. When it's your big thought you talking about in your course video in the I didn't understand, Abu Omar. I didn't understand your question. When is your big, I guess this is short for beginner, taught, I think it's short for tutorial, you talked about in your course video in the other channel is coming out. I asked all the beginners to shoot me their questions in my Facebook, and nobody sent me any message. This is something I was wondering. People keep asking, we want beginner tutorial, we want beginner tutorial. Type what you want exactly, let me know so I can do the video, because I already forgot how to be a beginner. So nobody sent me anything. OPS camera, I'm using OPS Streamlabs with my Logitech C930. Yesterday I was trying to stream with this DSLR, but the stream quality was not good because this camera is capturing like a very huge file, and the internet speed right now is not that good because everybody now staying at home online. So I brought this camera from the shop to reduce the quality a little bit, but I see the quality is okay. I see the quality here is okay. Ali Hassan, one more question. Can you give me tips about repoling IC to make all pads level even? Use good stencil, use good solder paste, and use low temperature. And if you have excess, don't keep pushing the solder paste too much. 1-2 times enough. Don't keep pushing, because the solder paste will keep go under the stencil. When you repol, you will find there's big balls and small balls. No, it's 1-2 enough. Then heat, small heat. And if you still have excess, the problem is your stencil is not good. It's not flat enough. Let me type for the people who ask me for the stencil links to remember to put it under the video after we finish. And please repeat to me again what tools you want me I put links under the video, so after we finish I put it. One more question, can you I answered that already. Hello from Poland. I love to visit Poland. I really like to it's my wish to visit Poland. I have an iPhone 7 stuck on a restore and gives me error on 30%. 30%? That's weird. On 3 tools. It's NAND problem. Then I've changed the NAND and reprogrammed it. After it doesn't start. I have checked again the motherboard. I see 3 caps exploded near the FPC J4101 charging port. In fact, it's like the line that reaches the triggers. Honestly, I cannot imagine what you are saying, but it's very common that technicians do mistakes during the repair. Like you have iPhone with NAND problem. During the time you are removing the NAND, maybe you scratch a capacitor, or you remove the NAND with some glue around it, and that glue made 2 capacitors touch each other. So this is not the original problem. This is a problem you created during the repair. So you should not deal with it as it is the original problem. You have to look closely and find what happened. Because you said the phone was working fine and reaching 30%. Try to put back the old NAND and see if the phone will reach the 30%. If it does, so it's the same problem. About the capacitors, you said they are exploded. You have to check, remove them if they are exploded already, and check if still have a short in this line or no. If it's still, you have to inject voltage and check what is the thing causing the short. Muhammad Asim Pro, why you not make online courses? Because online courses, it takes a long time. If I am here and someone in front of me in different country and the internet of me or of him lagging, if I will explain something and he didn't hear or my picture freeze, I have to repeat again. I have seen some people doing online training and I'm not happy with the quality. If I want to explain something in 5 minutes, in real life, it will take me like 30 minutes and 2 to 3 times to repeat it till the other person get the information the way he should get it. I don't like to take the money and not deliver the value I'm happy with. I tried to do that, but you will see the iron is moving slowly because the internet speed, and maybe you will miss something I did and you will tell me, please Ayman, I didn't see what happened, the internet, blah blah blah. I don't want to waste too much time for this. Can you say Maximilian? Yes, I can say Maximilian. It's like Maximalino, okay. I like your videos. I like you too, bro. Yes, sir. You have a pilot license? Yes, I have. It was my wish to get a license, but too much expensive? Yes, it did. Yes, definitely, indeed. In Pakistan, everywhere. You should come here to see how expensive it is. How you feel in this field of tech? I love the field of tech. I love it. I started as a technician 21 years ago, and after 10 years of experience, I came to UEE, and I was lucky to join Nokia team here, and I worked in Nokia company here for 6 years. I started with them as a technician, and then I become like supervisor and store manager and then operation manager. In this time I start to get my pilot license. When Nokia closed, I found a job in a company as a pilot instructor. Then I became the general manager of this company, and then something happened and they terminated my contract, and I couldn't find another job in aviation because my hours is very low, and I was pursuing my training during the time I'm working with them, but then when I lost my job, I lost my funding, so all my money is finished. Then I started to think I have to find a job to get some money to be able to continue searching for a job in aviation. But then I decided it's too late now. Right now I'm 36 years old. After 22 days I'll be 36, and to get a job in aviation you have to start early, not late like me. HPC mobiles, Ayman, do you have any catalog of your training course? I don't have any catalog, but I can send you the details, but only if you are able to come here to UAE or Egypt, because this is where I do trainings, and Turkey, but now the airlines is closed and I'm not ready to be in quarantine 14 days if I go to Egypt, So right now I'm staying put here in UAE, and I guess nobody can come to me here, so I stopped all my training. I'm not even giving details about the training because it's not sense. I don't know when I will be able to start my training again and what is the cost of me traveling, so I cannot say my training cost like this and this is the schedule. I cannot do that right now. Ramadan, good Ramadan, thank you. Returning to the speech of the iPhone 7 does not charge and the 3.8 do not arrive rightly to the charge. I think that replacing the triggers I should solve the problem. Could be. Marhaba from India. Marhaba Sayed. How are you? Thanks for the tips. You're welcome. Ghulam Abbas. Salam. How are you, Ghulam? Abdul Majid. Black or gold Chun-Li stencil? Neither of them. Before I recommended them a lot because they were the best in the market. They were, but now there is another good stencils. I will put a link for it after we finish this stream. I'll put it down this stream in the description box. I love you all the time. Thank you, Ghulam. MS Sunny, how are you? Central Tech, Ayman, what streaming software you use? I use Streamlabs OBS. Ah, you like the effects, huh? Anyone not yet subscribed to the channel? If the subscribe button under this video is red, that means you are not subscribed. Please hit that one and make it gray. So I use iPhone as a camera. You need the OBS camera app and the OBS app for PC, bitrate, very good webcam. I don't recommend other application. Miserable transmission quality. What do you think about the quality of this stream? I think everybody says that it's good. How many IC chips is compatible with other models? I didn't count them. Thanks for the tips, you're welcome. Salam, frère, ça va. Je ne parle pas français bien. Thanks for the tips. Salam, salam, Yusuf Habibi. I face this issue twice, if you can help. After resoldering the two boards with iPhone X, the phone just draw 0.07 and restart, even without resoldering, just with the eye socket. The same issue. Any idea? If the phone stuck on 0.07, that means 70 milliamps. That means that the phone is in DFU mode. That means that this is an Intel version of the iPhone X, and that means the two boards are not connected together because the Qualcomm version of iPhone X will turn on with single board, but the Intel version will not turn on unless you soldered or put the two boards together. Maybe your eye socket or the socket you are using, the pins in the socket is screwed or damaged, so maybe that pins is not reaching to the boards from both sides. So try to change your socket, otherwise you have a problem. You have a problem in the upper layer. Abu Omar, I mean theoretical course. Maybe I will do a theoretical part, but it will be recorded. It will not be like one-to-one. It will be recorded. Maybe. Will the thermal imager show a short capacitor? I have a total short in the main line. I cannot trace it during a short circuit test. Nothing but the wire soldered to the capacitor heats up. iPhone 7. If you don't have a thermal imager, you cannot detect the small short, like consuming very small amps, because the rosin, it's like honey. It has like big mass. It's not liquid, same the water or alcohol. So the rosin needs a lot of heat. If you have a small short, the small short is not creating a lot of heat. So that way is not effective way. You should use the thermal imager. If the short is not visible on the thermal imager, that means the short is in a chip or in a big or high current path. Like if you have the solder balls under the chips, under a chip, it's connected together, that will make like a high current path, and it will not show you a heat because already it's a high current path. It's a high current path. So if you have a short, the short is not blocking this big hole. You have something small in a big hole. The short will be visible if the line is small, in a line has a small mass, and the short is bigger than the line. The current consumption is bigger than what the line can take. But if you have like solder balls connected together, or you have a solder ball touching two capacitors together, the solder ball itself, it will not heat. That is the problem. Maybe the problem will be from the power chip itself. Subash, hi, how are you? How are you, Subash? I hope I said your name right. In my video, no subscribe button showing. If you don't have subscribe button showing, that's because you are not logged into YouTube by your Gmail. You should be log into YouTube by your Gmail, then the subscribe button will appear. Press the subscribe and the notification, because when I do a video or live stream, you want to get notified. If you are not logged in, or if you are not subscribed, or you are not turning the notification on, you will not know when I release a video. And people tell me, why long time you didn't release a video? Huh? I released a video yesterday. We never seen it and we never get notified. That's because you are not subscribed and you didn't turn the bell icon on. Can you do a bench tour? Yes, I can. In my shop, I'm planning to do it, and I'm planning to do a video for the proper bench height and how to build your own bench. I will do it very soon, inshallah. Ankos, hello from Greece. Hello, Ankos. iPhone 7 make noise at the ear speaker during call. It's audio IC or something else. First, you have to clean the earpiece, because sometimes the earpiece is blocked by sweat and dust. You have to clean it first. Then you have to check diode mode. If it's the same issue, you have to check the diode mode. By the way, the audio IC in iPhone 7, that IC is responsible for the microphones, the codec. It's doing coding and decoding, and this is responsible for the microphones. But it's connected with the other chips, which is responsible for the audio. So maybe any of audio chips will do a problem to other chip. But first thing you have to do is to clean the net, the earpiece net, and make sure that it doesn't have any dust, or the ear speaker itself, it's working fine. Try with different screen. Olam, Ayman sir, you about SMB box? You heard about SMB box, like that make with, yeah, I heard about it. It's not necessary. It's too old right now. So don't be offended, but the image quality of your stream is not the best. I know, it's not the best. I'm not doing gaming here. I'm not doing a gaming channel. I want the streaming quality to be okay. That's it. Because I'm afraid that the phone will the battery will discharge, or I will put the charger and the charger is not charging and I didn't notice, then suddenly the stream will stop. And then yesterday I had a stream for my students and people calling me and they are disconnecting the stream. That's why I just want the stream to be okay. No need to make it fancy. Only connecting it through OBS application will be right, and you will get everything you can from your iPhone. I will give it a try. I promise. Do you have to rebol the PMIC after rebolling the CPU? For me, I don't have to. I can manage to remove rebol, install the CPU without destroying the PMIC. Irfan, Ramadan Mubarak to you, Irfan. Enos, or the chat is not letting him see. I don't know what you are talking about, Enos. Munir, hello Munir. The thermal imaging camera does not show heating elements. I will try to use freeze. Now, no, if the thermal camera is not showing you the heating part, the freeze couldn't show you. So I'm pretty sure that the problem from the power management chip or a solder ball stuck between two caps or something. Look to the board under the microscope closely, because sometimes if you remove the chip, maybe while you are working underneath the chip, you will cause solder to short between two components, and it's pretty small, so you wouldn't see it, and this will cause a short. You cannot feel it on the thermal camera. Not all the time. Good teacher, good master. Thank you, Arfan. Thank you so much. What do you think about Abu Omar? What do you think about hobbyist tools for pro work in the beginning? I always say that the pro tools help you to improve faster, because when you are a beginner, you don't have such a confidence. You are struggling. So if you are using beginners or not good equipment, that will increase your struggling. That will make you struggle more. What I say and what I advise for beginners: invest in your tools that will make you improve faster and get the money faster, so you will return the money you invested in yourself in these tools. Thank you for referring to my comments. I really like your movies, although most often I do not understand anything, but it doesn't bother. That's because of my English, or you cannot read English well? I see you are writing English is very well. Or you are talking about the Arabic channel because I have two channels. This channel is in English and another channel is in Arabic. How about online training? Arfan, I don't do online training, and if you see this video in replay, you will understand why. I already answered that question before. George, my last question, Pro for iPhone 6 Plus, IC Touch. Can we replace it from donor board? Of course you can. Or we have to take the Mason IC and the driver together. No. Of course you can. Of course you can. Abu Omar, the A60 Leica you recommend doesn't have a camera. I'm not sure about the model, but the camera of Leica, it's already integrated inside the microscope. Like, it's not same the microscope, the AymanScope, you see the microscope and you see a port and then the camera. No, the camera is integrated inside that box. Your English is good? Thank you so much. I think we finished all the questions, or we still have. I will give you like 5 minutes if anyone have more questions. I will answer them. Arabic channel, English is very good. Thank you so much. This channel is new, and I'm trying to concentrate about it since I receive a lot of comments in my Arabic channel from people who doesn't understand Arabic. So they asked me to do a translation, but the translation will be very hard. It's more easy and more fun to me to make English videos, so I can practice my English more. Since more than 2 years I'm not speaking English with anyone. Very rarely I speak English nowadays, so I felt like I'm starting to lose my English, because any language, if you not practice it for a long time, you will lose it. So I decided to make the English channel so it can help me to get my English back. And I'm very happy when I'm doing live stream with you, because you don't know how scary it is to be live in front of people. And I did practice that, but to be able to speak English with you, that will help me to gain my language back. So I will do more of English videos on this channel. Nowadays, because the quarantine, I have only 2 to 3 hours to do my work in my shop, so I don't have much time to do videos. I will keep continuing. I will continue to do live streams during Ramadan time, because this time I have very limited time. But after Ramadan, you will see me smashing the English channel. I will do more videos. How long do you spend in total to remove and repol CPU like A10, A12? Who is counting? Are we in a race? No need to check how long, because for me, if I'm doing a normal repair, I open the phone, then I smoke a cigarette, then I drink some tea, then I remove the chip, then I repol the chip. I never count or watch the time, because nobody is following me and nobody is counting. Don't think about the time, just think about the quality. Have you seen many iPhone 7 haptic problems? Never. Maybe one. And it was from the audio chip. Will you be giving private courses in Egypt for future reference? Yes. I already announced that from before. I will do a private training in Egypt. It would be cheaper than UAE. UAE is very expensive. Abu Shibl, thank you very much for the wonderful and distinguitive. I know this word, distinguitive. I know this word, but sometimes it's hard to pronounce some words. I will practice it later. Content you provide us. Thank you, Abdu. Thanks for explaining about the short circuit. I know everything now. It's such a strange case. I sit to the microscope. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm English and from London. You speak English well. Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much. Such comments. My thing. I don't know what is the word. Keep me like positive. Give me positive feedback. I rebuilt the IC with 2 shortcuts. You rebuilt the IC with 2 shortcuts? But the iPhone Touch by itself and all the resistance on the connector is good. Sorry, George, I don't understand your question. Please make it more clear. Nabil, salam brother, Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak to you, Nabil. Michael, hey, you should fly more often. That will help English. Actually, flying English is different. Like when we are flying, we use very short terms and to make it fast conversation. We don't have like long conversations while we are flying. Like Egypt Air 737 cleared for takeoff, runway 37. After takeoff, climb to maintain altitude, like that. We don't use like conversational English. But flying keep me happy. But right now I cannot go and fly. Most of the time I go and I rent a private plane and I fly here in UAE. In Egypt I cannot do that. That's why I don't want to ever to stay full time in Egypt. Here there's some things I can do. I have fun with it. George, and sure I tried another screen. Explain the question again, George, please. Mudassir, thank you so much for taking your time to share your experience and answering all the questions. I really appreciate this, and I really appreciate your time being here. Thank you. Thank you, Mudassir. You are wonderful. I love your videos and your channel. Thank you, Maknujula Ibrahim. Thank you so much. Do you think that the ambient temperature in the service has an impact on the temperature used for soldering? I didn't understand the question. Josh, I was talking about iPhone 6 Plus Touch IC problem. Yes, I understand that. That I understand, but I didn't understand what you wrote in the other question. I know, Ayman, I'm a pilot myself and miss it when I'm locked down. Yes, my friend, now you feel what I feel, Michael. Now you feel what I feel. I'm waiting for you, George, to drop me your question. iPhone 6 Plus, mostly it's the M1 jumper. Sometimes it's the chestnut, the display IC not creating the necessary voltages to turn on the touch chip. But not all the time. Mostly it's M1 jumper. So George, you are the last question. If I didn't get it within a minute, I will end the stream. Till George send his question, I want to thank you all for being here. I loved being with you, talking to you. It's really honor to me to be with you all, and thank you. I changed the IC Touch driver and Mason M1 done, but the phone touch by itself. The phone touch by itself, it's the Cumulus. If the phone touch by itself, it's the Cumulus. I'm from Lebanon. I like your job. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you so much. So we will end it here, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish to see you soon. Give me a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification so you get notified every time I do a stream or I create a video. Till then, my work here is done, and I'll see you next one. See you guys.